G'day, my name's Jason Hydrick of Jason Hydrick Photography, and today I thought I'd quickly go through and show you what's in my camera bag. Today's the 26th of March 2016, and let's start off with the cameras. I shoot two camera bodies. One is the 5D Mark III, the other is the 7D, the original. Had the 7D for quite a while. It was my primary body until I got the 5D Mark III. You might be asking yourself why I don't have a 1D series body. It's in the works. However, the combination of the crop sensor body and the full frame body, I think, gives quite a good advantage. You'll see why, and I'll explain that why a bit later on when I get through to the lenses. Both cameras are excellent during the day. 7D is obviously a lot better with a higher frame rate. However, the 7D also struggles in low light capabilities. I wouldn't try and go over 3200 ISO in it. Even then, the images are quite noisy. Where the 5D Mark III, I've pushed up to 10,000, 12,800 ISO. With a little bit of noise, but more than acceptable for shooting low light local competitions. Other than the camera bodies, my main lens that I use is this. So it is the Canon 300-2.8. It is the Series 2 of the IS version. It is a beast of a lens. My favourite part, as with most people who have these lenses, is the size of the front element. It's not as big as the 400mm lens. However, the 400 I think is a lot heavier and a lot harder to carry around with you. The advantage of the 300, I believe, is in using it with the 5D and the 7D is I've got a variable focal length on it. So with the 5D, obviously it's a 300mm. On the 7D, it actually works out to be a 420mm lens at 2.8. So during well lit matches and in day matches, the 7D and this is a lot more compact, easy to carry around. Does just as good a job. And from my point of view is you can't be beaten. With the 5D Mark III, it's quite good with soccer shots because you are shooting at 300. Sometimes the 400mm is a little bit too long. But other than that, it is a great lens. To go with that, I actually have the 1.4 teleconverter. I also have the 1.2, the two times. Both of them are the Series 3 and both of them work exceptionally well. You do get a little bit of image degradation with it. However, if you get pin focus on it when taking the shots, they're quite good. The 2-time is a lot softer than using the 1.4. However, if you stop it down a little bit, it works quite well, even though you start getting towards 6.3 or 8 in f-stops. Other than that, the next lens that most people who shoot sport use is the 70-200. So this is the non-IS version, so it's only the one series. Brilliant lens. The only complaint that I have with it is the hood, which has become a bit loose, but also over time and over use, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it is prone to getting hair on the back of the lens, just from the whole vacuuming in and out of the lenses it focuses. I've already had it cleaned twice, except it keeps coming back. Mind you, no huge issues with that at all. It doesn't affect image quality, it's just I know it's there. I then have the rest of the Holy Trinity. So the 24-70 f2.8 Series 2, and the 16-35 2.8 as well. The 16-35 is a good lens. However, the next lens I'm going to show you is actually become my favourite, and I've been using it more than the 16-35. Both of these lenses are exceptional. Love the quality of them. Both of them don't have IS, which doesn't seem to be a problem when shooting sport. I use the 16-35 for wide angle shots of stadiums and players, and the 24-70 not so much during games and stuff. It's more if I want to try and do some portraits with the crowd and stuff like that, which I don't do that often. I still take it to every game just in case I need to do something, but out of those two lenses I would definitely probably use the 16-35 more often. So what lens do you think I use more than the 16-35? It is this. This is the 8-15 fisheye. I was introduced this to by a friend of mine who has been shooting sport for a fair while. The scariest bit I find of this lens is that front element. It's quite bulbous, not as bulbous as the new 14-24. However, when you take the lens hood off, it is quite pronounced. You need to take the lens hood off when you're shooting at the 8mm mark, because it is a true circular fisheye. However, at 15 you can leave the hood on, which works quite well. The beauty about this lens compared to the other alternatives like the straight 15mm Canon and the two Canon varieties done by Sigma is that it does both circular and rectilinear, as well as you can limit it to have a zoom on crop sensor bodies. Because I have the 7D, it makes it quite handy that you don't actually get the cutoff which you'd normally see if you chucked it on and zoomed all the way through to 8, when it starts getting between that circular and the rectilinear field of view. The next lens I don't really use too often, but it is the 50-1.2. Absolutely great lens, massive elements on it, lets in a shite load of light. Use this for the odd portraiture now and then, but still carry it in my bag just for those odd occasions, but mainly use that for when I'm doing portraiture or any other sort of stuff. It's not the fastest focusing, but it's still a very nice lens, especially wide open at 2.8. So they're basically all the lenses that I take. The next things that I take help me take different shots throughout the matches. They're not your traditional products that people use, purely for the price point. However, I've had little or no issues with them. So these are radio triggers. So they're the Yongnuo variety. The 603C Series 2, which are pure manual flash triggers. I also have the TTL versions when I want to use off-camera flash. I mainly use the manual ones for remote shooting, so behind the goals or at different locations where I'm not there. And I use them in conjunction with this is the Joby Gorilla Pod. I think it's the Focus version, so the biggest one they make. Quite good compared to traditional desktop tripods which people use. This thing can be mounted pretty much anywhere as long as you're creative in how you can position those three legs. Very flexible. You hang it from the back of the billboards in soccer games, place it down nice and low, ready for shots behind the goal. Really good, really flexible way. Only downside is it is quite big compared to the normal desktop tripods. However, it does the job quite nicely. Last but not least, I'll take a flash. It's the Canon 600EX RT. Beautiful flash, works quite well. You can see this is been in the wars, lots of scratches on the LCD from when I was shooting downhill mountain bike. Don't often use the flash doing sports photography, however, there are times and places for it. I also do live uploads during my soccer matches. I use Lightroom 5 at the moment and a MacBook Pro, the 15-inch. 15-inch is quite a big MacBook, and it is a bit hard sometimes to get everything positioned on top of the case. Talking about camera cases, I also use a Pelican case, the 1560, the bigger one. Did toss up about the 1510, but felt the 1560 was the better fit for me. And to finish off, I'm also just recording this on a GoPro Black Hero 4. Brilliant bit of kit. It's the second one I've had since my first one got stolen, but shit happens. Thanks for listening. If you want any more in-depth reviews on any of the lenses or anything that I've shown here, leave a message in the comments below. Cheers.